What is going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video, where today we're going to be continuing looking at the expanded format, moving on to another Zoroark variant. Once again, Lycanroc-GX Zoroark. This is the deck that just won the Memphis Regional Championships in the standard format, so we're going to see how this translates over to expanded as we're preparing for Dallas coming up here in just a week, honestly. That's pretty crazy. It's coming up just a little over a week away. Dallas Regional Championships will be happening. Hoping to meet some of you guys there, and I'm excited to compete in the tournament. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in and take a look at this Lycanroc Zoroark-GX deck, starting off with Lycanroc-GX himself, the 200 HP fighting Stage 1 Pokemon with the ability Bloodthirsty Eyes. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon with their active Pokemon. So this is a super powerful effect to have on an ability. We get to use something like a Colress or an N or a Juniper or something during our turn, and then still get that gust effect that you normally get from Guzma, but in an ability. So you get to do 2 in one turn, which is really, really cool. We've also got 2 solid attacks here. Claw Slash, 110 damage. Might not seem like much, but there's so many fighting weak Pokemon, or, well, so many fighting weak Zoroark decks going around, I guess. So Claw Slash is great for that. Lets us just straight up knock out a Zoroark. And then we have Dangerous Rogue GX, 50 damage times 50 more for each damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon. No time for a game right now. We're recording a video. So Dangerous Rogue, definitely really solid, and gives us a GX attack option for the deck. Let's continue on here. We do have 4 copies of Zoroark-GX, the main draw engine, the secondary main. I guess really this is the main attacker. Lycanroc would be the secondary attacker, but that trade ability, once during your turn before you attack, you may discard a card from your hand if you do draw 2 cards, and then Riotous Beating, 20 damage. This attack does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play. Really solid there. And then also we have Zoroark from Breakthrough here with the stand-in ability and Mind Jack. Mind Jack doing 30 damage for each of our opponent's benched Pokemon. Can just come in as a one-prizer and do a lot of damage. We are, of course, running the Paralyzing Gaze Zorua. And then I'm running 3 of the corner Rockruff. I think if you're in the standard format, you should play the promo Rockruff, but in expanded, we don't really need the extra damage from the promo Rockruff as much because we're going to be one-shotting stuff with Sky Field and Riotous Beating, so I think corner is fine because it just can give you some options later on in the game. Defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn, so maybe our opponents run themselves out of Guzmas. We can just maybe lock something active and try to win a game that way, and maybe just stall for a couple turns, worst case scenario. We do also have 1 copy of Sudowoodo with that roadblock ability. Zoroark decks are just so popular, you've got to play Sudowoodo. Card is too necessary at this time. 1 copy of Exeggcute with that propagation ability. We get to just put it back in from our discard pile to our hand so that we can trade it away and not have to discard resources, but sometimes we are going to want to thin our deck and discard things, so we'll still take a look at that when we get to it in that time in the game. 1 copy of Oricorio here for that supernatural dance attack to be really useful against things like Night March. 3 copies of Tapu Lele and 1 copy of Shaymin-EX for the consistency, and there's the list, guys. We're going to go ahead and expand it. Keep looking at the rest of what we're working with here. 1 copy of Computer Search as the A-Spec, just the best A-Spec in the game, of course. 1 copy of Field Blower, just nice to manage our opponent's tools. We can also use this to get rid of stadiums on our opponent's side of the field. We've got 1 copy of Pokémon Communication, letting us, this is kind of a cool card in the expanded format. Reveal a Pokemon in your hand and put it on top of your deck. If you do, search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. So this is really good synergy with Exeggcute. We can put it back from our discard pile at any time, and Pokemon Communication for like a Zoroark or a Lycanroc, anything we want. Or in the beginning of the game, if we have a stage 1 in our hand, we need another basic down, we can go do that. Or if we need to go find a Lycanroc-GX to get that Guzma effect, this basically can turn into whatever we need at that specific time. So I really like it. 4 copies of Puzzle of Time. We got trades coming through. We got battle requests going on, but we're going to keep going here. We got 4 Puzzle of Time, letting us grab 2 cards from our discard pile and putting them back into our hand if we play 2 at the same time, of course. 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher. Great if we have to put down a Lycanroc early on in the game. It kind of acts like a VS Seeker for Lysander of sorts in that way. We've got 4 copies of Ultra Ball here, letting us just discard anything and go get set up with a Lele for Brigette or something like that. 4 VS Seeker, letting us reuse any of the supporters in our deck. 3 copies of Sky Field, so that if we have that bench of 8 plus a choice band attached, we can take a knockout with Zoroark-GX's Rightus beating on opposing Zoroark-GX's. 1 copy of Acerola, so that we can win any 2-shot wars that are going on. Because of our opponent's Sudowoodos, we're not able to get the 1-shots, so Acerola is definitely nice. 2 copies of Brigette here, ensuring that we can get it on that first turn. 3 copies of Colress. There's so many Brigette-heavy decks right now. Colress is just so good as our turn 2 supporter, so having the 3 copies is really, really nice. We do have 1 copy of Ghetsis as well, just such a powerful supporter. No reason not to include this guy. 1 copy of Guzma. We don't really need more than 1 since we do have the Lycanroc's Bloodthirsty Eyes to bring up stuff on our opponent's bench as well. You may hear me a couple of times throughout this video call this ability Bright Look, because that's the same ability that was on a Luxray level X from a long time ago, and I still call it Bright Look from time to time on accident. We've got 1 copy of Hex Maniac here, just useful to shut down our opponent's abilities. We've got 1 copy of Mallow. I'm still kind of torn on whether or not to include this card. I think I would cut this for a Ranger, potentially, because there are a decent amount of Toad decks, but Mallow can be nice to just get whatever we want. It finds us the DCE, it finds us the Fighting Energy for Lycanroc, it finds us Choice Band, it finds us Sky Field, so I think Mallow is nice to include in the deck. And then we have 1 copy of In, just gives us another Shuffle Draw supporter that is not Colress, in case we need to do that on the first turn, and it's also nice for Disruption, potentially, if we need that. 2 copies of Choice Band, of course, just boosting that damage. 1 copy of Float Stone, so if we start a non-Zorua and we want to attack on our second turn, we can retreat with whatever we get that on. 4 copies of Double Colorless Energy and 2 copies of Fighting Energy. I'm choosing not to play Strong Energy. There's a lot of Enhanced Hammer running around, so just being able to put the basic Fighting on Lycanroc is definitely really solid. So without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead, hop over to the ladder, and see if we can't grab a couple of games and see if we can't get a couple of wins in today's video. As always, guys, if you enjoyed these videos, please be sure to leave a like down below. It helps me out a ton, lets me know that you're enjoying seeing what I'm doing over here on the channel. It's been really cool since I started posting videos again last week to see just how much support you guys have been leaving through likes and through comments and stuff like that on all of my videos. I think most of my videos have 0 dislikes on them, a couple with like 1 or 2 dislikes, which is really nuts, and it just really means a lot to me, so I really do appreciate it, guys. And we do finally find a game here, going up against GLC 82814, playing I think I saw Fighting, Water, Grass, so maybe this is going to be, I see the Keldeo deck box, this could be a Archie's Blastoise deck, potentially. We'll see. We do win the flip. So we are, of course, going to choose to go first. I spilled my drink. That's fine. We're going to keep going and pretend that didn't happen. Kind of an awkward hand here. We do have to start the Shaymin, so might have to try to find that Float Stone or get a Sky Return off on our second turn. And, okay, looks like it's going to be some sort of Zoroark variant because we see the Alolan Muck. Making sure not to spill my drink that time, and we'll click yes. We do find a Zoroark, which is good for the next turn. And we actually top deck Zorua, which is really solid. So I want to get rid of Colress here, I think. It's kind of risky. He could Ghetsis me, I guess, but we do have a Zoroark in our hand. We do have 1 Brigette in the deck. Got all of our energies. We do have the Float Stone. And do we have Sudowoodo? We do indeed. So with this, we're just going to go grab a Zorua, a Rockruff, and a Sudowoodo. Get that down before my opponent has a chance and maybe mess up their turn 1 Brigitting. Oops, almost. That would have not been very good. That would have been pretty bad, actually. But we do get the Brigette. We don't misclick today. We'll go Zorua, Sudowoodo, and Rockruff. No energy attachment, unfortunately. Getting a basic Fighting on Rockruff on the first turn is definitely nice, but don't make it happen this time. And yeah, on to my opponent's turn. We'll see what they are working with on their side. Maybe they can get off their turn 1 Brigette, and that will help our Colress out on this next turn a lot. So let's see what is going to happen here. My opponent is just going to go for Brigette. I'm totally fine seeing that. And let's see if they get out their own Sudowoodo. They do indeed, so we're going to go get rid of the Tapu Lele. They don't get out the Alolan Muck, though. They are going to go ahead and just Sky Return here. And looks like it'll be on our turn. They send up Sudowoodo, so if we can take a knockout on Sudowoodo, that would be really, really good. We have to find the one Float Stone in the deck. We're going to go for it, though, because if we can KO this, we'll just be in such a great position. We'll go Colress. Getting us 6 cards here. We'll go ahead and play the Sky Field so that way we don't draw it. We got to find that Float Stone. Did not find it yet. We can bring something. We could stand in. I don't remember if stand in was in the deck. We can't really do much else with stand in though. We can trade. Let's actually communication away the Lycanroc. We'll go ahead and get another Zoroark-GX so we don't draw it on the trade. And yeah, there's that Float Stone. We're going to be trying to find it here. Let's see if we can do it. If he had one more bench Pokemon, I would have put a DCE here and tried to find stand-in Zoroark, but he did not have that Pokemon. So go ahead and trade away Exeggcute. And trade away Hex. Maybe in? No, I think Hex. Trade away Hex. Float Stone, give it to me. Yeah, that would have been pretty crazy if we had drawn into the Hex. We don't draw into it, though, but that is okay. Is there anything else we want to do? I think we're just going to have to pass. On to our opponent's turn. They can actually Float Stone Sky Return again and KO our Shaymin. They do have the Float Stone, so we'll probably just see DC Sky Return Shaymin. Maybe, I don't know. He might just still want to go ahead and knock us out with Zoroark, but which would be understandable for sure. Maybe, gonna actually get Zoroark. I was gonna say maybe gonna go get a Grimer here with this. But yeah, getting to KO our Shaymin on this turn is gonna put us actually really far behind, honestly. But we can potentially knock out his Shaymin if we, unless he Sky Returns here. We'll see what he does. He kept the DCE in his hand, so I assume he's gonna want to Sky Return. Compressor, probably going to get rid of, like, Exeggcute, maybe a supporter. And yeah, it does get rid of Colress, Hex, and Exeggcute. Propagation, and then he'll go trade. Honestly, if we could, like, Ghetsis this turn, that might be good. And if he doesn't play his Via Seekers, because we just saw he compressed away a Colress. But that wouldn't be that good because we know he's got Shaymin in his hand, so Hex is also actually pretty good here. If we could somehow Hex, fill our bench, and take a knockout, that would be really good. But I'm not anticipating doing that. We'll see what he sends up here, though, after the Sky Return. He's going to go ahead and play around, or no, he's actually going to use Hex Maniac. He hadn't played a supporter yet, that's right. Okay, so we'll go Hex Maniac, which is fine, actually. He will take the knockout with Sky Return. We'll see what he sends up. Give me the Sudowoodo. Come on, man. Give me the Pseudo. Okay, this is actually wrong. He's technically supposed to promote. He's supposed to promote before he takes his prizes, because what he takes out of his prizes could affect what he promotes. So that's incorrect. PTCGO Classic getting some stuff wrong. He's actually potentially going to let us knock out Sudowoodo. We would just need to draw one more Pokemon. I know we're not getting the Bright Look effect, or the Bloodthirsty Eyes effect, unfortunately, but that is okay. We're going to go ahead and end, though. 20, 40, 60, 80. Give me one Pokemon. We got there. We did get one single Pokemon, and we can knock out Sudowoodo, put my opponent at 4 cards, and hopefully they don't really have much going on here, and it'll be tough for them to respond. We have Sudowoodo in play still. They do not. We're going to hold the Float Stone. Of course, we don't get to trade because they did Hex Maniac last turn. So getting rid of Sudowoodo could potentially be game-changing for us. We do get Brigette, so that could also be really good if we can trade into Choice Band next turn, potentially. My opponent's going to go ahead and Propagate. They must not have any things in their hand that they want to discard. If they do find Lele, this is probably going to go Wonder Tag, maybe for Colress here. looks like that is the case. So they are playing 2 copies of Colress. I'm not sure if they're playing 3 like us. We are playing 3, as you guys saw at the beginning of the video. And let's see if they can find DCE Choice Band. Or really, they just need DCE to, like, attack at least. They're going to get Zorua not getting down Grimer. Maybe they prized their Grimer? But if they never get Muck set up, we're just, like, at a straight-up advantage through the rest of this game. Because we'll be able to take one-shots, and they will not. And of course we can come in and Claw Slash with Lycanroc at some point as well. He is getting 2 Zoroarks set up, which is really good, of course. And DCE, so he is going to at least attack us, but if we can find Choice Band and take the knockout, or if we find DCE and can Claw Slash for the knockout, that'll be real solid. So let's actually... We'll start here. I kind of want to just like bench Exeggcute, bench Oricorio, and then go Colress. Draw a bunch of cards. If we could Acerola this turn, that would be really good though. Maybe we should try to find Acerola actually. Let's trade... Yeah, we'll trade away Brigette. Okay, so we can Lele for Acerola. And this is also semi-playing around stand-in. We don't know if they play stand-in. Yeah, I think we're just going to go this route. Play Acerola. I guess we could have traded first to see what else we drew. I don't really want to play... to discard any of this. I guess I could discard Sky Field. He probably doesn't play anything besides Sky Field. He could Field Blower it, but we do still have puzzles. Stretcher Colress. Let's trade away... I guess we could trade away Oricorio, but if he stretches back Sudowoodo, I want to have basic Pokemon so that we can Hex and potentially get a knockout. And we got DCE anyway. We can actually bench another Rockruff, which is solid. Let's make sure 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And so if he got Choice Band DCE, that would be enough to knock us out with stand-in. So maybe we don't bench that, actually. Or maybe we bench it and we don't bench the Zorua. I like that. Let's do that. And we'll just go, we'll save Dangerous Rogue. I want to bench Zorua, but I think it's smart to play around stand-in Zoroark here. So we'll go Claw Slash, because that's like, that would be a way that we could potentially lose, is if stand-in Zoroark came in. And we see our own stand-in there out of the prizes. We could have put the Float Stone in play, like on Sudowoodo, or maybe even on the active, honestly. I wouldn't have hated putting Float Stone on the active, but he hasn't played Field Blower yet, and so I don't want to let him Field Blower away Float Stone and a Sky Field. But Ultra Ball here, we'll see what this is going to find. Ooh, Foul Play Zoroark. Okay, so he's going to use that to copy Dangerous Rogue. I could have considered that as well, but that's okay. We can return Knock It Out, and then we'll be at back on even prizes, and my opponent will have to, in this next turn, get the return knockout. And with if they don't get Grimer in play this turn, we should be fine. So, a little bit of a... maybe I should have considered playing around this as opposed to playing around stand-in. That might have been a little smarter. And if we had benched Zorua, we could actually take the knockout with stand-in, which would have been way better. Rescue Stretcher. Gonna bring back Sudowoodo, maybe? No, gonna bring back a Zorua. Opting not to bring back Sudowoodo. So we can try to if we top that, we can and Lycanroc. No, but I think I just want to knock out the active, honestly. So I think we're just gonna So we go there, we bench this guy. And I think we're just gonna end him down to 2, take a knockout. That seems pretty good. We could trade, but I kind of want to trade on the other end of the N. I think this makes the most sense. Yeah. So we'll do this. End him down to 2. Yes, I'm well aware this gives me less cards, but it gives him 2 cards, which is very good. And we get Ghetsis Field Blower, so we can Field Blower away his Choice Band. That's good. We can actually Field Blower away Sky Field, but he needs a lot here. He would need Hex Maniac plus 5 basic Pokemon, plus a Choice Band, plus a... Yeah, he needs way too much, so we'll get rid of that. I think we'll trade away... Let's trade with the Active first, because I always forget to accidentally do that because of the... I almost like click the attack, which is not fun. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Yeah, if we so like we could bench Zorua and he plays one, so he probably doesn't play the other, but he could. He could play the other Zoroark as well, and so that's like our only way to lose the game. One of our only ways to lose the game next turn. So we're not going to bench Zorua. We will go ahead and trade Oricorio. He's already used Stretcher, so I'm not scared of Sudowoodo coming back into play. Any reason to put Float Stone out? Sure. No, we'll hold it because, yeah, we definitely just hold Float Stone here. And we'll ride his beating, take the KO. 120 damage, and we take a prize. It's also way better, like, getting into 2 is infinitely better than getting into 1. So if we had like tried to Guzma knock out Shaymin or something, or Bright Look knock out Shaymin, or not Bright Look, whatever, Bloodthirsty Eyes, sorry. If we tried to Bloodthirsty Eyes knock out Shaymin, and we get into 1 here, that's way worse than getting into 2. So we'll see what happens. He does get another Zoroark out, so he has 1 more trade available to him. Yeah, we don't have Shaymin in place, so he can't, like, Guzma and knock out Shaymin. And we can, next turn, hopefully just try to find, like, Guzma. Or we can actually just Mallow and trade into the win if he doesn't in us. Because all we have to do is get Lycanroc. We've seen Rescue Stretcher at least once. I'm not crazy, right? It's not in here. Yep. So he is just going to hit us, it looks like. Puzzle of Time. Is he playing 1 or 2? Let's see. Looks like he is playing 2, so he gets back Choice Band plus Ultra Ball. Does he have another Shaymin in the deck? That could find him the cards he needs. Gets rid of Toad Brigette. He does have another Shaymin. Okay. So this is going to be close here, guys. Can he find Hex Maniac and then 3 basic Pokemon? He only needs 2 basic Pokemon. I didn't see the second egg come down. Hex Maniac plus 2 basic Pokemon wins my opponent the game here. If they didn't find it, though, what else can they do? So he needed via Seeker, because Hex is already in the discard. Oh, he needed his last via Seeker. So it was like pretty low odds, honestly. He's already traded twice, I believe, right? He's going to end. Okay, so we should be, depending on what we get off the trade, we should be able to win this game this turn, guys. We do get Rescue Stretcher plus Fighting Energy, and that's all we needed, guys. We just go Rescue Stretcher, bring up Lycanroc-GX. Wow, okay, very nice. Lycanroc-GX, Bloodthirsty Eyes, Shaymin-EX. And yep, that is a win, a mark in the win column. Close game. If my opponent had gotten that last via Seeker, that would have been, man, that would have been pretty crazy. But we do get a win in game number 1 of today's video. We'll see if we can't snag another. That was a decently long game. Not too, I guess not too long, but... but yeah, I don't know, maybe it felt weird that he gave us the Sudowoodo and just let us knock out Pseudo. So I don't think I would have done that. I think it's like, I know, I don't know, he did only, I think he did only have the one Zorua in play, so I guess that's his only out, but he was never able to stretcher it back. The turn he stretchered, he got back something else, I think, so. Phase 22 here looks like we're playing against a Fire, Water, Colorless deck, so maybe going to be some sort of Volcanion or Turbo Turtles type of deck. We will see, though. We do win the flip, so we will choose to go first. We'll click Done. And, I guess we'll see what we get off the mulligan. We're going to have to try to find that turn 1 Brigette. We do get to go first, which is, like, just always such a good advantage. Anytime you're playing a Stage 1 deck, going first is so huge. And we just open up with raw Brigette, which is really nice. So we'll start Zorua. And that's really great because we can next turn Lele for Colress. And we'll see what my opponent is playing. We see the Eevee sleeves in deck box, and a Tyranitar coin, I believe is what it was. But based on his typings, I'm going to assume this is like Volcanion or Turbo Turtles of some sort. And here on this Brigette, I think we're probably, yeah, it is going to be Turbo Turtles. So we'll just go get that turn 1 Brigette going. Sudowoodo's good against them, but we don't really need it now, I don't think. We've got all of our Zoroarks because one's in the hand. We prized a DCE and a Fighting Energy, yep. Got all 3 Colress, and we have N, Mallow, Rescue Stretcher, 2 Lycanrocs. And we prized Baby Zoroark 2 games in a row, actually. I think we'll just go get... yeah, another Zorua, because he can just go Blacksmith, Steam Up, and get a Shell Trap knockout, which would be annoying, but yeah, we'll just pass with this hand. We could set up for 1 or puzzle and set up and pick the top 2, but not going to do that. Next turn we'll go Lele for Colress with 2 Zoroark-GX in play. This is a really solid hand. And we'll see what my opponent gets happening on their side. Like I said, they can get a knockout on Zorua if they get Blacksmith, Fighting Fury Belt Steam Up, or Blacksmith and 2 Steam Ups. They could get a turn 1 Bright Flame knockout, but that would be just a little bit of overkill on poor baby Zorua here. But we'll see what my opponents can get going over there on their side, taking their time to figure things out, maybe just analyzing what they're going to work with on their hand. I think this deck is so cool, just is really, really frail, unfortunately. Like, you're basically committing to trying to Blacksmith every turn, and he's just going to go get Kiawe, and we could win the game here, guys. We could win the game this turn. And we top deck DCE, so that's a good start. We'll get these 2 guys in play. DCE on the active, and we're gonna like really kind of dig for this, honestly. We'll go Lele and get the Colress, but I think we're gonna set up first. I kind of wish I played like 1 Juniper. I did consider that. I think I said something about Juniper earlier on in the video too, because I did originally have Juniper in this list, but decided to cut it. We'll go set up for 3. Sky Field, Choice Band, all very good starts. Wait, we can just win here because we just go Bench Egg, Choice Band. We'll Brigette first, and then Choice Band. That gives us the win. Wow. Assuming we have 2 more basics in the deck, which I do believe we do, we get Sudowoodo and Zorua, and there's a turn 2 W right there. Didn't even have to trade at all for it, and yep, we'll just ride this beating and. Alright, there's game number 2. Simple enough. You guys can just see how powerful this deck is. Being able to pop off on the second turn like that. Absolutely insane. And yeah, we'll grab another game. As you guys can see, I did already get the Ghetsis. Wow, I'm 300 points over the 2000, so I've been playing a lot of Pokemon recently, guys. I'm really trying to prepare for Dallas, and I'm excited for that tournament, and yeah, testing a lot for it. Superman's here. Looks like it was a Zoroark Golisopod deck. But you see, we see Grass type, and you'd think Golisopod, but that also could just be the Exeggcute, and it could be a regular Zoroark deck. So we'll see. We do get a turn 1 Brigette. Kind of an awkward hand, though. Like, I guess we're going to discard... Like, we discard Stretcher top deck, or Stretcher via Seeker top deck, maybe. And then go get the Lele for the Brigette. We could Computer Search straight up for the Brigette, but I would rather save that while we can. And Ultra Ball, you know, is not as useful later on because we just draw into Zoroarks and stuff normally through trades and Colresses and all those good things. So we'll click done. And we see a Lele start on my opponent's side. We don't want to trade away the puzzle. So I think we just Ultra Ball away Stretcher via Seeker. And we will go Lele for Brigette, and I think we'll just get Zorua, Rockruff, and Sudowoodo. I think I'm okay with that. Getting a Rockruff down turn 1 is great, especially with the basic fighting in our hand. Oh, hopefully Brigette was in the deck. Yep. Should have checked those things, but, you know, we'll learn one day, right? We'll get punished real hard, and then we probably still won't learn, but we'll go get Pseudo, Rockruff, and I guess just another Zorua, like I said. We do have Pokemon Communication. Prized a DCE. Prized, wait, 2 DCEs actually, wasn't it? So that could be an issue, honestly. Yeah, did prize, yep, 2 DCEs and 2 choice bands. That's really bad, actually. 2 choice bands being prized is so bad, because we won't be able to knock out opposing Zoroarks, but we could get the knockout here on this second turn with our own Zoroark. We could get Ghetsis, which would be really bad, but that would just probably put our opponent pretty far behind, since they wouldn't be able to Brigette on their turn. But let's see what they get going over on their side of the field. Starting Tapu Lele is always unfortunate. If we can just pop off next turn, get the full bench if they don't get Sudowoodo down, and just take 2 prizes there, we're going to be so far ahead, especially with our own Sudowoodo already in play. But they do get their Sudowoodo, so that is definitely a good start. So, we're going to want to try to take a knockout on that, I guess, if we can. And we'll probably have to Computer Search away a puzzle here. We could trade first, though. And, but yeah, let's see what my opponent's going to do here. Just a Grass Energy to the active. Ooh, and that's a pass. That is not a good start. Man, we've gotten rid of so many resources already. But I think it's going to be okay. We're not going to end for sure. So we just go get Colress. Only getting 5 cards, but we do still have access to 1 trade at least. And if we can find Lycanroc and KO Sudowoodo, that would be great. So we'll trade, get rid of Mallow, I think. We can Pecom. Alright, let's trade first. We still need DCE. We're actually going to go ahead and get Lycanroc. We'll go trade, or Pecom away Zoroark. Get Lycanroc. And then trade our second time. We could play a puzzle. We have already played one, but I think we won't. And we'll just go Zorua. Did not quite get there. We have Sky Field Ultra Ball, but not anything else we can really do with this hand or this turn, unfortunately. We'll save the Lycanroc, and we'll just pass. Because I want to try to knock out Sudowoodo. My opponent did nothing on their turn. Oh, Ghetsis gets rid of Puzzle and Ultra Ball. I'm kind of okay with that, though. Let's see if those 2 cards helped them find anything else. They want to bench a Wimpod. They want to at least get down a Zorua. Fighting Fury Belt. Okay, that's interesting. And so with no Choice Band, and we'd have to find the Field Blower to take a knockout here. Field Blower plus Hex to take a knockout on Lele. Trade Brigette. Or we could Colress and then save the other trade. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go here. Bloodthirsty Eyes. Play Sky Field. And then we'll Colress. Oh, we could Mallow for it. I guess that makes more sense. Totally forgot Mallow was in the discard pile. So we'll go Mallow. We'll put DCE Colress on top. Yeah. DCE Colress. And we'll trade away the Brigette. Totally forgot about that, but, you know, it's all good. And just get the guaranteed energy, and we're set up fine for next turn. We'll be able to bench Zorua. And we get the egg out of the discard pile, which is another basic Pokemon. Lets us do a little more damage. We are going to have to find that Field Blower since we still have 2 other things in play. Sky Arrow Bridge is pretty interesting, considering... I guess it does make some sense with Gliscopod. Tapu Koko or Tapu Lele basically gets free retreat. But we'll have to find our last Sky Field. Oh, we don't have... I was like, why is this not stacked up? There we go. So we'll just go... Should we Colress for 5? Yeah, we'll Colress and then trade. And trade away... Zoroark? Double Puzzle. Does that get us Sky Field? We can get Sky Field Computer Search. Let's trade one more time. We can get Sky Field Computer Search, and then we also have Ultra Ball, and then we okay. So as long as Shaymin's in the deck, which I think it was, so we'll go Double Puzzle. So Computer Search finds us Field Blower. Sky Field gives us more bench space. So we can do that. We can Ultra Ball away Guzma via Seeker. We should be able to get the win here. Do we have anything that guarantees it right now? We just need to find the Field Blower and more Pokemon. So I think we're going to go Shaymin. And we'll put the Float Stone on... I guess we'll put it on Sudowoodo... No, we'll put it on Lycanroc. I'm just trying to think, like, if we whiff, where's the best place for it to go? So if we draw a Field Blower or Pokemon... Alright, we need one more Pokemon, guys. We'll go Lele. Because we just prize those choice bands. It's so annoying. I guess we'll get Ghetsis, or, well, we should get Acerola, I guess. Makes the most sense. We just need to trade into a Pokemon here. Gives us the game. Pokemon or Field Blower. We could go ahead and Computer Search, but I think we've already traded with the active, right? Yeah, we have. So we'll trade Fighting Energy. And we got it. Nice. Okay. So we go get rid of these guys. Get Egg. Field Blower is in the deck. And yeah, there we go. My opponent's like, oh, dang, he got it. We didn't have the knockout yet, but we did have access to all the cards to do it. So, one really good game, and then 2 kind of quicker games our opponents didn't draw as well. We'll go ahead and grab a 4th one. It's been about 40 minutes. We'll just go a little bit longer. You guys seem to be fine with the longer videos. Everyone has told me that they're totally fine with it, so... So we'll just keep it going and see if we can't win another one. Hopefully we'll actually get a little bit better of a game in the next one because right now the past 2 games have been pretty quick. But Fletch 505 here, playing it looks like a Zoroark deck. I saw Water though. I've heard talks of a Barbarical Tech in some Zoroark decks, so that could be interesting. Maybe that's what they're playing. We'd have to really rely on Hex Maniac there if that's the case, or Field Blower. We do go second, which is always a little unfortunate. And if he turn 1 Ghetsis us, that's actually pretty bad. But, Ghetsis is like... Ooh, it's actually a Toad deck. I don't know why I assumed Barbarical before I assumed Toad. I always do that. I always think it's some, like, wacky deck, and then it's, like, something obvious, like a Toad. Or, like, I assume it's going to be Zoroark Golisopod, which it did end up being Zoroark Golisopod, I assume. And it's just, like, probably going to be Exeggcute. So, I don't know. We'll see. Ultra Ball's away Sudowoodo, actually, which is really, really questionable. Really questionable. And with Ultra Ball, looks like they're just going to get a Shaymin-EX. Verbank comes into play. We could see a laser here. Float Stone onto Seismitoad. See, I think one of those 2 cards has to be discardable, and you just keep the Sudowoodo, put the Float Stone on that. Because you'd rather put Choice Band on Toad, right? But, I don't know. They're fine with this, I guess, and they don't play a supporter this turn, which is fine with me. We'll just go Ultra Ball away via Seeker and Ultra Ball. Go get Lele. And go get Brigette, yeah. And I think we'll just get 2 Zoruas, so we'll have 4 in play, and a Rockruff. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. We could attach the energy, but I don't want to do that. There's lots of enhanced hammer stuff running around. And we will kind of be relying on trades a little bit next turn, but we're still in a decent spot. Still in a decent spot. He's going to get down his own Zorua. We can knock that out. If we can keep the Zoroarks out of play and keep my opponent from drawing a lot of cards, that would be pretty nice. But I also don't really want to put an energy in play. Oh, he has nothing! He has nothing. Okay, we're going to go trade away Shaymin-EX. We'll Ghetsis, I guess. Might as well. We don't really have any other options. Man, stand-in Zoroark. Ooh, so that's an issue. So we're going to definitely just KO his Zorua here. But he would need, like, a literal top deck, so maybe just KOing Shaymin is fine. Take a couple prizes. I think we did prize a Zoroark, so I think we'll just go after the prizes. Getting rid of Shaymin's probably a little safer. I don't even want to play this via Seeker because I'd rather just... I don't think I'll ever get this again. It's pretty unlikely I'd ever get this again, I should say. But I guess I could. Never say never, right? As we get Ultra Ball and Tapu Lele. So if we can find Sky Field, that's great. And he's left with a hand of Verbank City and a Zoroark Breakthrough. Puzzle of Time will rearrange the top 3. So we could end. But I don't think we'll do that. Onto our turn. And we get our own puzzle. Alright, let's trade first. Let's Ultra Ball first, actually. We'll get rid of, I guess, Zoroark. And N. We're probably not going to be inning anytime soon, at least. We'll get another Zoroark. And I don't really want to get rid of Lele or anything in this hand, really. But I think, I guess, via Seeker's the best ditch? I guess getting rid of via Seeker's a little better than getting rid of Lele. And we can actually just knock out this Toad here, I think. We'll get the fighting down. And I think we'll just go Colress and then trade on the other end. I forget we have access to Mallow, but I don't really want to get rid of trade away Puzzle or DCE. So we will go Colress. We just need 2 more Pokemon. There's a Rockruff. We can computer search for the other one, worst case scenario. But if we can find it here, that would be best. We can stretcher for it. For Shaymin. Or computer search away. Or we can just choice band, sorry. We don't even... Sorry, wow, it took me a second. Yeah, we'll just go right to speeding. KO the Toad. And now, next turn, all we have to do is Guzma, or Bright Look. What's it called? Bloodthirsty Eyes, the Seismitoad. If he gets a DCE here, if he puzzled a DCE to the top, though, so he needed to be able to puzzle into a DCE to knock out Zoroark here. And he does get a Sycamore, though, so could he find double colorless energy? He does find DCE, so gets the KO. But, like I said, all we're going to need is... I guess we do need 2 Pokemon plus DCE, and we have Mallow in hand, so... That Mallow plus Computer Search basically guarantees us the game. So we'll put this guy out. And we just get DCE right there. So that is going to do it, right? We have to get 2 more Pokemon. So we just, what? We don't even have to Mallow. We'll just computer search. We can get Choice Band or Pokemon. We'll just get this guy. Don't even have to trade for it. Put down Zorua. Bring up the Toad. And this deck is so good, guys. Really make sure you're giving this a good look. For Dallas, it's going to be a popular deck for sure. And as you can see, it's just so powerful. We priced 2 puzzles, didn't even realize it. But yeah, I think Mallow's really solid. After playing those couple games, I can see the reasoning why people love to include it in this list. It's just really powerful. I think I might cut the Breakthrough Zoroark, though. We just like always want to evolve to GXs, so that's the main thing there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this deck down in the comments down below. Let me know what your lists are looking like. What do you like about this list? What do you dislike about it? And all that good stuff. So thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. That is going to do it for me. I'm going to get out of here. And until next time, guys, take care.